And we are live.
Lies.
I mean, lying is a part of my job. I am the DM.
This is very true.
I mean, yeah.
We deal in half truths and, white lies all the time.
And
so
tomfuckery.
DMs are all fey. Gotcha.
I mean, yes. If you've ever DM'd a game in your life, you are considered an honorary fae. It's just how it works.
But why though?
Because it's all about trickery and games and twisting people to your whims.
But I don't want to be a dick.
It's not being a dick.
It's being fair.
Yep.
You can be nice about it. You can make them want to be twisted and twirled around your finger.
Oh.
Yeah, you ask them for a character backstory.
And then they just very nonchalantly hand you a blank page and say, "Fuck me up, fam."
I've done that.
The Tyrus story.
Yes.
God.
Hey, it gave you all the ammunition you could ever want.
Oh,
to
it
do
gave
whatever
me-
you needed.
It gave me so much ammunition. Like Tyrus was like a very perfect linchpin against some of the emotions of a couple of the other cast characters.
Here's
Yeah,
a
he
quick
was.
question for you. Have you ever regretted fucking up someone's background?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
If you have regrets, you can't DM.
Yep.
See,
I mean,
in DMing, there's no such thing as mistakes. Just more opportunities to build in the campaign.
It's like Bob Ross. It's just a happy little accident.
Yeah. It just instead of a tree, you're making it a tree or something, it's now a burning building.
That was my campaign. Session 1 or 2.
half the time it doesn't take the DM to set the building on fire. We do that ourselves.
Wasn't that a tavern?
Yeah.
Campaign,
I challenge you.
campaign two.
I
it was
challenge you to
multiple towns.
fisticuffs. I challenge you to fisticuffs. I set your tavern / fucking gang base on fire.
They accomplished their goal.
Yeah.
The goal was mayhem.
Hey, if the goal didn't come with the clause that said that you cannot execute it by any means necessary, well then they're just going by their freedom.
I mean, you gotta be real specific with the instructions.
You have to be real specific with the instructions, or you get campaign 2, where so much was lost because you guys just couldn't stop burning down towns.
We kept plane hopping. It was weird.
No, campaign 2. Campaign
2.
You guys just lit towns on fire.
Yeah.
We eventually stopped doing that.
In my defense, that was not Rose. Rose had issues.
You were banned in you had like bounties on your head in like four towns or cities along the western coast of the middle continent.
And Rose worked her ass off to get those things removed because she was pissed that she's trying to expand an underground network of fucking black market and shenanigans, and her party members keep blowing up shit in public. Can you stop? It's like, oh, what are we gonna do? How about we mass insanguinate a fourth of the town?
I mean,
shits and giggles.
They weren't aware they were doing that. To be fair, it was mystery potion number 1.
In our defense, a lot of that was accidental.
And what did we learn?
In your defense, a lot of that was all of you just screaming science and doing it anyway.
False science.
Hey, this is why we don't leave Ash alone making potions anymore.
Nope.
Or Tickles alone, period.
Yep.
Hey, I helped while I was alone. He just goes, okay, I'll just shut up now.
And the room got silent.
So, you guys had some interesting things happen to you throughout last week. You ended up getting pulled, or like the last time we got together, you ended up getting pulled into a little game of a miniature Fey court in order to release two of your companions from the siren succulents that had crawled through their mouths and were slowly but surely spreading throughout their bodies. Though the outcome of the game really didn't fall in line with what the Fey leader's plans were, as you instead decided to team up against her with the with a siren empress, a very large humanoid plant creature that seemingly birthed these smaller plants and spores that spread out or spreading out through the forest. A creature that had mistakenly crossed over into this plane of existence, and due to the Fae had no way back. After a bit of a fight and a bit of damage against an elemental dragon that had been in the shape of the Fae leader, the Empress was willingly banished back to her home plane, thanks solely in part of Amelia, and you were told of a prize that awaited you. A spring a few miles to the northeast. Heading there, you found this what almost looked to be natural bowl of the silver liquid. Which one was it? Amelia who drank first? Yeah,
Mhm.
Amelia, just throwing caution to the wind, drank it. Got a nice rest, got everything got recovered. Any curses, anything bad on her was removed. But she then fell unconscious and slowly began to harden as this silver-like cocoon began to form around her body. Not taking this as any sort of warning, everyone else joined in. Farron had the same thing happen to her, was encased in another silver cocoon, though the more beast members of the group weren't necessarily trapped in cocoons, but went through certain changes on their bodies. The most drastic being Reaver, who now can change shape between a warg and a Goliath, I believe.
Yep, a large Goliath.
Not really being able to move until your companions escape from their cocoons, you all decided to make camp for the night, hoping that whatever transformative process was going on was not going to last more than the nightfall. So before we move over into the next day, was there anything anyone in the group was doing? Anything you wanted to take care of or anything of that matter?
Don't think so. Yeah, I didn't have anything in the works, so I think I'm good.
Nothing offhand that I honestly remember.
Trying to remember, I wanted to start a clock, but I forget which one I was going to start. Let's see. to grab anything I was working on.
Fox Raven, you need to take care of anything?
Not. No. Offhand, no.
Okay. So, what I need from Gilly and what I need from Druids over here is I need percentile.
Okay,
Let's go with these ones.
let's do different dice because my other ones have been giving me shit. All right. Are these the right ones? These are the right ones, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. Oh.
Wants to go first.
I think you should go.
I'll go 100.
Okay.
No way.
All zeros. Probably be the
That
last
checks
good
out.
roll I get this game.
Oh, fuck, same.
What?
Dual 100s, huh? Ooh.
Wow. I'm a little nervous now.
Same.
It's gonna be interesting. Can the two of you give me d12s?
I could do that, yeah.
What I said, that was gonna be my last good roll of the game. That was a 3.
Where's my D12? Hold on. Which one are you? 3. No, that's a D10. Fuck, can I just roll 2 6s?
I mean, that is a d12.
That works. 6 and a 5, 11.
Okay. So, throughout the night, every now and then, there are a couple sparks emanating off of the cocoons. Every now and then, arcs of energy seem to like jump and connect the two cocoons briefly, and they sort of shudder, and you see this arcane light begin to pulse over them. Soft sigils being etched into the silver as the night progresses. As the sun rises, there's two loud cracks as these large lightning bolts come down and strike the cocoons, shattering them. The two of you inside the cocoons awaken, as if you just spent a very wonderful night in the warmest, most comfortable inn you have ever been in. Your bodies feel immaculate. Your muscles are relaxed. You feel clean. This is probably the best you've felt in a while. Those of you on the outside see the soft, almost sapphire-like smoke emanating out of one, and a soft pale-like crystal smoke emanating out of the other. What are you in the cocoon doing? What are you in the camp doing?
Do we see anyone or anything emerging from the
From-
cocoons or emerging from the smoke?
Where you are in the camp at the moment, all you see is both of the cocoons having a hole blowing in the top, and smoke, like the smoke emanating out of it is too thick.
And then Dorngo's going to like step into the smoke, waving it.
I'll go with.
Which
Imagine-
smoke are you stepping into?
I presume they're both together.
They're not. They're apart. They're a little bit apart. They're not right next to one another.
Then I would. It's 50-50. Let's see. So evens, I'm heading to the tiefling. Odds, I'm heading towards the death cleric. Roll to 1, heading towards death cleric.
Okay. So so you're heading to the death cleric. What about Reaver?
I'm going with Dorngal.
All right. Are you in your warg form or are you in your Goliath form at the moment?
Warg form.
Okay. So you smell this even before Dorngal does. And especially it's familiar, especially to you, Reaver, because you spent some of your life inside the dwarven homestead, and you're very familiar with the natural smell of rock formations. Very earthy, almost dusty smell, but at the same time, you smell ozone. Like electricity, lightning that had just struck an area. Very thick in this smoke. And Amelia, you can hear a couple sets of footprints approaching the cocoon that you're laying in.
I feel like I just woke up from a good nap or a good sleep, so I'm just gonna get up like I normally would for the day.
Okay.
Do a double check that all my, my books and everything that I have on me is there. And then start looking towards whoever's approaching, see who it is.
Yep. And thankfully enough, everything is still on you. Nothing seems to have been damaged or changed in any sort of way.
Okay.
When you stand up stand up from the cocoon, you kind of feel weird for a moment, a little tense. And then you stretch a bit, and the two of you see these wings unfurl from this creature's back.
Emilia, is that you? Does it look like her? Is there still smoke? Like
It's still smoke. You see a silhouette of what you would assume is Amelia, and then there's these pair of wings that come out.
Okay. What
Draconic,
you?
angelic.
From the outline, it looks more reptilian than celestial.
I think as soon as I see that they're reptilian, I'm gonna like dive off to the side and kind of burrow myself in the ground and any leaves and stuff that are in the area. Just using my hide in plain sight ability to just stealth myself in case something bad is about to go down.
Okay.
I have a really high passive perception. Good luck.
I have a really high stealth now.
True. I forgot about that. So Dorgal still called out, not being able to see exactly who it was. Okay. Yeah, what happened last night? I don't remember going to sleep, but I had a good rest.
And she's still in the smoke, right?
The smoke is slowly starting to clear.
You drank the funny water, and then you get in the cocoon, and then Fedden do the same thing. She also go into cocoon. I drank the water. Reaver drank the water, and we didn't get cocoon. But I can't really see you. What is on your back?
Slightly confused. I mean, imagine my pack.
No.
I guess with that, I'm going to try and feel my bag. No, I can't turn around and see it, so
Okay,
that's a hard place to see.
You kind of like try to like get at your back, and much like it's either impossible or painful to do so, you trying to stretch to like get the center. You can't really reach your back, but as you're like flailing around, your hands are coming in contact with something that feels something leathery, a bit extended out.
And so,
Her
and
initial reaction is not to assume it's connected to her. She's just going to take a step away and turn around to see what's behind her.
And you take a step. Can you give me a dexterity check here?
Yeah, just a straight check.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. 8.
8. So in your panic, you sort of forget that you're inside this cocoon, and you go to take a step back, and you end up hitting the lip of the opening and just falling out of the cocoon onto your butt. Reaver, from where you're sitting, you can see what almost looks like Amelia. It still has she still has the elven features, though there are some rough patches of skin on her body that are this soft, almost blue color, very vibrant. And stretching out of her back are this pair of large sapphire-like wings. Her eyes have changed as well, as she now has 2 separate color eyes. One is that sapphire blue color, and that other is that almost translucent crystal-like color.
Seeing that some of her other normal features are still there, I will assume that this is her, just changed. And I will come out of my hiding spot and just kind of trot over to where she fell down. And like, so my head is kind of hanging over her, and I just look down at her. This place is dangerous. You shouldn't drink from the waters. And then I'll turn around and go back to camp.
No shit, Sherlock.
And why did Dorngal say you guys drank after me?
As I'm walking back to camp, I just kind of call out over my shoulder, I was coerced by the cat.
Alright. She just accepts that answer and let's really respond to it. I'm more attempt to get off my ass though, because
It's easy enough. You're just standing on up.
do I see what would have been leathery that in the spot where I was standing? I know the answer to this, but
Do you see what?
so she's gonna turn and look back to where she was standing, try and figure out what was behind her that she felt when she was trying to reach her back. You obviously see nothing.
Yeah, you turn your head, and like outstretched, you can see just this very beautiful sapphire colored wing.
Can I like like hold? Can I like hold the wing in place so she can take a good look at it?
Oh, like even if she just turns her head to like the right or left, like the wing span is out wide enough that she can get a perfectly good view of the wing.
Now I have to see how well they attach. Now we have to do the what do they do? How do they move? I'm just gonna sit here and move my wings around for a while.
As you're moving them, you've got complete control over them.
Interesting.
Like Dorngo backs up so he doesn't get swatted with a wing.
Whack slap.
Like, I have avian friends back home. This is something they like to do. They think it's funny.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll tuck them in and then try and wander out the smoke. It's annoying not being able to see.
Okay. So, for this little transformation that you've done, you do have the wings now.
Okay.
You have a flight speed that is equivalent to your movement speed. On top of that, let me get back to the thing I was looking at. You have an ability that you can detonate the sound, like a thunderous sound that could be heard up from 300 feet away. It surrounds one creature in your sight. That creature has to make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or it will take 2d6 points of thunder damage and be stunned until the end of its next turn.
I think they're a fucking dragon show.
DC 15 con save. Or what?
Or they take 2d6 thunder damage and they're stunned until the end of their next turn. Also, once per day, you can touch a section of stone up to 30 feet in any dimension. You can shape that stone to open or close a passage through a wall, as long as the wall is less than 10 feet thick.
Shape stone?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Fantastic spell.
Mm-hmm. Hey. And the thunderous ability, that's once per day as well?
Once per day.
Perfect. Should I get all that in my notes?
Aaron,
Hi.
you can hear the commotion going on outside of your cocoon. The conversation between Reaver, Dorngal, and Amelia.
Okay. She's sleeping.
Oh no, there's no sleeping.
Oh, there's no
No,
sleeping.
you are wide awake. Like you were awoken by that clap of lightning, and then you felt like you've gotten the best full night's rest that you've had. Like you are wide awake.
So
Like
I'm
you couldn't even ignore it. It's like you are brimming with energy.
Okay, well in that case, she will get out of this weird cocoon thing, whatever the hell's happening to her, and it's like, danger? Question mark.
You just get on up out of the cocoon and walk out.
Pretty much. That's what she's just.
All right. So Amelia and I would assume the rest of the camp would see this then. As Farron walks out, much like Amelia, she has a pair of wings outstretched from her back. Though in the like this very translucent, almost white, like perfect, like pristine crystal color. Where the patches on her skin sort of match almost identical, mirror-like to Emilia's, but again in that crystalline color. Her eyes even share the same two color setup as Emilia's, but a little reversed, as the opposite eyes are different colors. Aaron,
Yes.
much like Emilia, you've gained a couple abilities here with your sought form.
Okay.
Once a day, you may choose a point that you see. Gleaming starlight radiates to fill that point in a 10-foot radius sphere of dim light. Each creature other than yourself in that area, when the light appears, must succeed a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 radiant damage and be outlined in the glow. Attack rolls made against the outlined creatures have advantage. The creature cannot hide or benefit from being invisible. And the starlight and the glow around any creature fades on initiative count 20 on the next round.
Okay, that's a lot. Can you like paste that to me later?
I sure can.
Please.
I will actually post it in Roll20 chat.
That works. Holy shit. All right.
On top of that, I'll post this in there as well, because since you're going to be copy pasting anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can open a passage through a wall of ice or snow that is up to 5 feet thick, creating an opening up to 30 feet wide and high. On top of this, there's a little downside.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts are linked.
Oh, god damn
Oh
it.
God, no.
You are pretty much psychically, emotionally, and spiritually connected
With who?
with Emilia.
That's not a good thing to be.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
If at any point in time either of you have to make a saving throw, you both roll. The target will take the higher of those two numbers. Now, if they fail, you both suffer whatever effects of that targeting is.
Let's do
This for the
The
more mental
linking.
type saves.
This
So
is
this
for
is just
any
for
save.
every save.
Any save.
Any save.
Oh, fun.
Baron, you also have a fly speed that's the equivalent of your movement speed.
Cool.
I thought about giving you guys the creature effects as well, but
Oh, that's cool.
Baron would have hated it.
Oh, I would have hated it.
Giant spiders in your area thrive and are
Yeah.
attracted to you.
You can always change it to a different type of bug.
If you want to, please just do it to a different type of bug.
No, it's okay. Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't really like spiders much either.
I am very thankful that you thought of me.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, that's actually cool, but I know Gurge is actually terrified of spiders, so let's not, hype up the phobia here.
Yeah. I mean, even if he did, I'll deal with it. But I'd be like,
Well, the thing is they wouldn't see you as an enemy. They actually revere you.
oh, they're scared of me.
No, not scared. They revere you.
Worship.
They pretty much
Definitely.
worship you.
Oh my god.
You can tell them all to go jump off a cliff. It's okay.
Queen of the spiders. There you go.
You know what? That's fine. I don't even care. Let them worship me. I just tell
No,
them to fuck off.
it's okay. It's a little bit too strong, so we're not gonna go with that.
Oh, I wasn't actually thinking of using that. Oh shit. Okay.
And then on the other side,
saves.
Barrens pretty much makes wildlife thrive in like a 300, like I think it's like a 300-mile area or something like that, and all gathering and hunting rules are made at advantage.
What?
So it's just like, yeah, that's a little too strong. Let's not do that.
Holy
I
shit.
understand.
That's cool though.
It is cool. Say our thoughts are linked. Are they like
Your
they were in Sonata 3 or in campaign 3 between
Yeah, pretty much like you can hear each other's thoughts. You can communicate with one another. You are, by in all means save for physical, linked to one another.
So we're like a hive.
Not
Ish.
necessarily a hive. It's pretty much because you both rolled 100s.
Oh.
yeah.
I mean that's fine. Oh god.
So
Our
you
dark desires.
you no, it's more you have a telepathic link to one another.
Okay, that works.
Okay.
But like if somebody is feeling fear, if like the one or the other are feeling fear, you guys know that they're actually afraid, even if they try to play it off with any sort of like false bravado or anything. You know what they're truly feeling.
Okay.
But with that, the day is yours.
Hooray.
Oh, Thorngol's fur has like weird bronze-looking patches.
I feel like I wrote down part of mine and didn't get the rest of it.
What did you write down?
There's a copper sheen to my fur, was what I got.
Escalia, thank you for that raid. Everyone, welcome on in. You also were able to take a. You were able to choose a sorcerer meta magic ability.
Right, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Wait, this isn't a lair. Do I have to
This
be
is
in a
actually
lair?
kinda cool.
No, the like I toned the lair actions down
Oh, okay.
because it's not 2d12, it's 2d6. Like both of your damaging abilities are 2d6.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So if you have them, could I have the text for mine as well so I can copy and paste?
You sure can. I'll put them in chat as well.
Thank you.
What dragon was this from?
Yours was a crystal dragon, and Amelia's is a sapphire dragon.
That's dope.
Which honestly, I love the look of the sapphire dragons.
I like that it's blue. Blue's my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
And what was this other one? I could just like walk through a wall of ice.
You open a passage through a wall of ice or snow that is up to 5 feet thick. So if like there's like a block of ice or just like a large snow hill or something that's less than 5 feet thick, you can pretty much just open a door through it and walk on through.
That would have been awesome while we were in that house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have.
Dope. I like it.
Oh, also, if you didn't already have it, you can also speak and understand Draconic.
Can I have Draconic Plus?
No.
All dialects of Draconic.
All dialects of Draconic.
Ancient Draconic.
Ancient Draconic.
Look, man, I just want to increase on my freaking tome. By the end of this campaign, I'm gonna be a full-fledged dragon somehow.
I mean, we're halfway there.
Right?
Are you two feeling all right?
Feel great. What this is going to pan out to be in the long run, we'll see. Ritual
Trouble
motion to her.
is what it will be.
It looks very pretty. It's weird that you two kind of match now. Is that because you two drank first?
Not sure, but it is concerning.
Now
Oh.
that everybody has drank from the strange pool in the middle of the forest, I should probably tell you that it's dragon's blood.
Yeah.
This explains a lot. But what dragon blood there?
I
That,
don't have a vat large enough to contain how much I want to take that.
that is the question, isn't it? What dragon did it come from? Why is it still here?
I mean, important questions. Is
Virgin,
the
would I
pool-
would I even be able to make a survival check to figure out what type of dragon blood it is?
The last session we played, Reaver identified it as silver.
Oh, okay.
The bigger question is it like just a straight pool, or is it like being refilled from somewhere?
So from what
That I
it
can
looks
see.
what it looks like is it was collected in from a wooden fountain that seems to be hefted up by an old tree stump. And then there's just this opening that kind of lurches over the bowl, and it's just pouring out this thick silver liquid.
Would that be the remains of a dragon?
Does it look like the fountain part is reachable without having to wade through the blood?
Oh yeah, like they're like, I think I misrepresented what it looked like. You don't necessarily have to wade through it. It's just like this large stump with a bowl, and then this blood just bleeding into it. There's no actual body of water. I may have
Oh.
misrepresented it the last time we played.
So blood is continually bleeding into the bowl. Can
Yes.
you see like what is pouring? Like where's the blood pouring out of?
You could see that it's pouring out of like some sort of petrified opening, and it's about maybe about 6 inches over the bowl, and just like bleeding down into it.
So it looks like a piece of the tree is actually.
It looks like it's a piece of the tree or something that was attached to the tree.
I say we leave it alone. It is a part of this forest. We've obviously gotten some kind of blessing from it. Anyone else who finds it and is brave enough to drink, they should be able to get the same. No?
My concern is if the Fae start drinking from it. But I suppose that's somebody else's problem.
They also know it's here. If they want to drink for it, they would have already.
They told us where it was.
I do believe this would have been the pool they had us drink from to get rid of the creatures inside of us, had we followed their plan.
Which wouldn't have gotten rid of the creature. It just does something else to us that is not compatible with creature.
Maybe.
Very strange.
They also
Very
said there's a
strange
chance it didn't
individuals.
help. So
True.
maybe it's
This,
not always a benefit.
this sort of stuff is exactly why I've spent years telling Therian we should not bother coming back here.
Why did you come back?
Because I owed him one. He gave me more years than I had left, so I might as well use them paying him back.
Guess that's one way of looking at it.
That is true friendship.
I don't like being in debt.
That I can understand.
It's fine if you don't want to share feelings. It's okay.
The only feeling I have right now is irritation. We should get moving.
Where are we heading to? Do you know which direction from here?
Do I know which direction from here?
From where you're at now, you do not. You know that the camp was set up near the base of the footpath that began to lead up into the mountain. Your best guess is it's probably the main footpath that the dwarves would had normally used when they needed to travel anywhere outside the mountain home.
We should just choose a direction until we're free from the tree line. Then we can get a visual on the mountains.
If it's a visual you want, might as well see if these actually have some function.
Perhaps they can be useful now, yes.
So with that, Amelia will try to get above the tree line.
Okay.
First time ever using wings. We'll
Okay.
see.
So what I need, since this is the first time using your wings, I am going to need a strength check.
That's fair.
So this is gonna be from both of you, because you are linked.
That's true.
Well,
You said
fun.
check?
Strength check.
Okay,
Yours is better than mine. I got a 10.
that's saving. I've got a 12 plus 5, 17.
17. You begin to push off with your wings, and for a moment there, you feel like a moment of weakness, but almost as if somebody just grabbed you by the hips and boosted you up. You just jut straight up, and in a few moments, you break the tree line, and you can see the expanse of this continent out to like the horizons, off to the west of you, to the south of you, and then to the east of you is this large, unfathomable height of a mountain covered in snow from where you can see the top, and just all the way down to just this beautiful white giant. From where you are now, go ahead and give me a nature or survival roll.
I will go with survival. That's a better roll. That's a 18.
18. Judging from your position at the moment, if you were to continue to head pretty much due east, not due east, about northeast, you should be able to reach the foot of the mountain probably by early the next day. Given your group's given how fast most of the members of your group are able to move through forests, this seems like it's going to be an easy trek to you, unless you run into more Fae.
All right. Then I'm going to attempt to go back down and land on my feet. We'll see
Okay.
how the landing goes.
Go ahead and give me a dex check for this one.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can either give me a dex check or you can give me athletics or acrobatics. I'm going to let you choose which one you want to do here.
We'll go with acrobatics.
Okay. So, Farron, can I get an acrobatics roll from you too?
Yep.
Mine's a 19.
4.
Okay. So you land on the ground simple enough. Feeling good about feeling a little confident at being able to use your wings.
Well, they function. The mountains Central Point northeast. About that way. A little over a day's trek. Unless we run into problems.
Good. Now that we have a direction, we won't be able to get lost. I can track our path quite well.
In that case, would you like to take the lead?
I will walk shoulder to shoulder with someone else in the lead. I led us here. I will accompany a different leader for now.
If the dwarves don't mind their folk, I will walk ahead. It's no problem for me.
The dwarves won't mind any kind of folk, except perhaps draconic.
Look over at
maybe-
Baron.
Yeah,
luck.
yeah, Durango's gonna look at the two of them and go, maybe we get you some hoods or cloaks or something to hide,
Actually, hold on. I think I have something for this. Will it work though?
That is the question, isn't it?
I thought it was what I thought, but it wasn't. I thought I was going to use thaumaturgy to disguise myself, but that's something else.
Yeah, that doesn't quite work.
That just makes your voice very loud.
Yeah.
Try and use it to disguise yourself. Everyone will know where you're at.
Right.
Amelia shrugs. She doesn't really care one way or another. I don't think we should make any unnecessary stops, though.
I think I'll probably just like fly up in the air just to follow these guys.
I mean, you
Stay on the
could
ground.
you could fly, but if you break the tree line, you're not gonna be able to see where they're at. Like the trees are thick and like the canopy is thick enough in most places to not allow you to get any sort of visual on movement on the forest floor.
Is it possible to like hop from tree to tree, but within eyesight?
At that time, you're not necessarily using your wings. You're kind of trying to Spider-Man between trees.
That's an image.
That'd be weird.
It would.
Flying squirrel glide.
I still want to make a flying squirrel type character.
Yes, do it. I want to see it.
That could be an interesting mechanic, actually. A glide speed instead of a fly speed.
Like either that or make a sugar glider.
I mean,
We
if they can
just got-
glide, if we throw them, it's not as bad, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Finally, a practical use for the people pult.
Yes.
Sounds like my next character, considering how often I end up airborne.
Exactly. Just like somebody throws you, you tuck until the moment happens, and you bring out the little gliding.
You're like, joke's on you.
Now the question is, can you use the sorcerer ability throw to continue the projection?
I think as long as your character isn't, beyond the weight limit.
Let's take levels in sorcerer so you continually can throw yourself forward.
Mm-hmm.
Just TF2 scout double jumping.
Yeah, I was thinking more like the time stop launching in Breath of the Wild, where you
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of drop an object,
And you
hit
just
it
beat the
multiple
hell out
times,
of it and jump onto
climb
it.
on
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
then get launched.
Yes.
So what you're saying is you cast like a time stop ability on your little sugar glider friend, beat the hell out of them and let them fly.
Yes.
Well, I was thinking less violent. You just stand on the object you're using throw on, but I like your idea too.
I was
Cast
thinking.
throw
It's the best.
repeatedly on the same target.
Now,
I
can
was
you get them
thinking Lost
farther if you have
Planets.
a barbarian beat on them? Or the fighter?
All right, Dorngull, you're leading, right?
Yep. Oh, and I picked my circle. It's not crystal. It's gonna be Circle of the Green.
Okay. I'm kind of sad you didn't choose Circle of Bees.
You know what?
Your one opportunity.
I really. The thing is, it's like because if I'm gonna get a character rewrite, like I really don't want to make Zoro have to like like put bees in the picture. But like I really want Circle of Bees. Circle of Bees is just fun. I mean, it's just like this is just shenanigans.
Mhm.
Or Circle of Bees. It's like, but I mean, if there's no repainting of our models, like I'll do Circle of Bees because that was the first one I
Like,
wanted.
honestly, I'm not going to ask Zoro to recolor your characters just for like the simple character changes that you've had. So if you want to take Circle of Bees, be my guest.
All right, dude. I am doing Circle of Bees. 'Cause
Okay.
I just think it's funny being a bear and like having like an army of honeybees.
What about honey beers?
And like I said, canonically their good berry is honeycomb.
I mean, it has to
So
be.
the next thing is you have to take up brewing as a hobby.
I mean,
Uh,
you're
I
kind of
mean,
wasting it if you're not.
you kind of have to at that point, It's like
You're
bees,
pretty
I
much a
might as well start making mead.
you're pretty much a walking apiary at that point. So
Yeah.
So as we go forward, Rangers, Natural Explorer, can't get lost and are alert to danger.
okay, that's even if you're not.
Yeah, that's just traveling. I don't have to be leading the group, though I am up next to Dorngal.
Okay.
The other stuff doesn't really apply here, just the can't get lost and alert to danger stuff.
Perfect. All right. So Dorngal, how are you leading your companions through this first leg of the journey today?
You know what? Because I kind of feel like druidy. I'm gonna wild shape into a polar bear, and I'm gonna use my survival, which I'm gonna take advantage of my my smell.
Which is something you very much can do.
Use my wild shape. So Dorngal turns into like this big, like large white polar bear with, this, odd bronze highlights. And I'm gonna do a survival check. Oh, I rolled a 20 and a 1.
Oh.
Good move.
Good move. Good move.
High and low.
Oh man. It's like something in my heart told me my dice were going to try and betray me.
Dice betray players? No.
Mine are gonna be trying to do that probably the rest of the session. So
That happened to me last session. My dice were betraying me.
So that's a 28.
Okay. And can we get a... You know what? Since it was a natural 20, go ahead and give me 2 percentile rolls and I'll let you choose which one you want.
Oh, that's cool.
Fake metal dice. Ooh, so that's a 2 on that. that one. And the other one is a fuck you. Is that a, okay, no, that's God damn, that's hard to read. Okay, that's 90. 92. So it's either 2 or 92. I'm gonna take the 92.
I like your choice.
You coward. You
like,
coward.
I'm like,
You
I'm like,
gave option.
I know. I'm just like, I always look at those things to like, you know, I give the players the option to choose which one. I'm just waiting for the time. They're like, yeah, I choose the one.
Yeah, nah.
I mean, it depends on the character.
No, I've gotten the one enough without the advantage or disadvantage. And I know I never want to roll anything for this that's under a 5.
I mean,
it's like
last Sonata, she pretty much chose the one.
This is true.
Poor shoe.
it's like the single digit percentile rolls are just like bad juju. You just don't want it.
I mean, maybe you don't. So that was a 28 and a 92.
Correct.
Very good. So as you're passing through here, the combination of your sense of smell and Reaver's sense of smell and their ability to sense danger and not get lost, you guys are on pretty much the optimal path the entire way. Being able to sniff out any sort of danger before it even is within eyesight of you and leading the group around it. You're able to make like a grand time. When you come to a small waterfall, the area itself a bit warmer than the rest of the forest. As you can see, it's more vibrant with life. There's no the snow seems to just stop at a certain point and then just crosses over into this very warm, relaxing scene of a waterfall. At this waterfall, you can hear the laughing and splashing of creatures just enjoying the day. Both Dorngal and Reaver, can you give me, using your sense of smell, can you give me nature checks?
17.
18 plus 8 is a 26. Yeah,
26. So a 17 and a 26. This it almost smells draconic. Almost. Though something is a little off.
Like it doesn't smell like it's pure draconic.
It's
or...
yeah, it doesn't smell like, it doesn't smell like it's 100% draconic, or it's sort of like in, I don't want to say like a bastardization. It's more like maybe a half-breed.
Are you smelling us?
No, it's coming from the water.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of look over at the, I guess, polar bear next to me, and say quietly and questioningly, "Danger."
So he's going to like flop onto his butt and shrug. Because I very doubt very seriously a bear can shrug on all fours.
You're a little awkward looking.
Yeah. At that, I will look back at the rest of the group. We think there might be something odd ahead. Be alert.
Odd how?
Odd, like you two.
Yeah, and Dorngal as the polar bear will back that up. He'll point at both you and Theron.
I think we should at least enter the. Do we need to enter the grove? Or are we going around?
We could probably go around, but I'd like to at least get eyes on whatever this is.
And as you're talking, now all of you begin to hear this almost like childlike joy as there's a loud splash of water coming close by, or coming from close by. Ardent Adventure, thank you for the raid.
I would like to move forward. Does anybody wish to move with me?
I raise my hand.
I can go
Sure.
with you.
Dorngal's gonna nod.
Good, then we all move. Marius, would you like a ride?
Yes. Most likely a good idea.
I will once again toss the cat up in the air and onto my back.
Okay.
All claws. No.
The claws out, gripping into the dog.
It's fine. Wargs have thick skin. He can take it.
Like I literally envision, like, I don't know if you guys remember the old Tom and Jerry shorts with the bulldog and
Mhm.
kitten.
Yep.
Yep.
Where the kitten would just like like go to bed on top of the bulldog and
Just like kneading into him, and he's
Yeah,
like
like,
gritting his teeth.
That's about the size difference too.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
and like that image is perpetually in my mind whenever you two are doing your thing.
So I guess with that, we will creep forward.
Okay. So as you creep forward, you spot three beings. Two short creatures seemingly chasing around each other in the shallow parts of this large pool of water that has formed from the waterfall. And on the side, on the shore, watching over them is a larger creature. The larger creature itself looks like a fully humanoid dragon, green in color, soft white horns protruding out the side of their head. The children, or what you can only assume to be children, playing in the water itself are also look draconic in a sense. One vibrant red scales, and the other the bright green, matching the one on the shore watching them. Though it doesn't seem like they've necessarily taken notice of you yet. I'm going to bring you guys to a map here. That to a map.
I feel
So-
like I'm in Dragon Tales.
This is the one that is on the shore,
Nice.
and these are the two playing in the water.
Oh.
Fucking,
Aww.
I can't kill these guys.
Oh.
I love the little borders, dude. I don't know where you got them, but I love them.
They are from a token pack called Dragonborns. It's on Roll20.
Love it. Love it.
Uh, I mean, if we all walk up together, like in Dorngo's mind, he's thinking if they all walk together, they're gonna like freak the fuck out. Um, he's gonna like. I want to walk over to, like, slowly, like non-aggressively, just like walk over to here and then just start drinking out the water.
Okay. You can go ahead and move your token over there.
And go over here and just like dig my maw in, like, the water, and then I'm just gonna, just like, I'm gonna actively look for fish. Like, I'm trying to be as bear can be, just to like not freak them out, just to see what they do.
Okay, I'm not going to really have you roll anything because you are a bear. Not really something that you have to pretend to be in that shape.
Yeah, it's not disguise. It's like, I'm a bear.
It's odd for a polar bear to be in a forest.
No,
It painted
Bino Black
one
Bear,
bear with
leave him
another
be.
bear.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the continent you're on is pretty much snowing 24/7, so
Yeah.
Okay, you got a point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chill. Like, and if like a fish is like, floats on by, like a salmon or some shit, like I'm literally gonna try and like, like bite that shit out of the water. It's like, I'm not kidding.
okay. So the rest of you, as you're standing there watching this happen, the smaller green draconic creature stops splashing the water at their companion as they look over and they notice the polar bear. And with all the childlike innocence in the world of not really, noticing danger, just walks up to the bear. The larger creature up on the shore notices this. It begins to like quickly walk towards it as she stops, and she looks and she notices the rest of the group. Ranmir, dear, maybe not play with the giant white creature of death. And I assume that is yours.
That is our friend. Yes. He is kind.
A warg? I haven't seen one of your kind in a while.
Surprised you recognize what I am. Not many do.
It's been a while since we've seen one of you. Not since the fall of the kingdoms. Are you
Is
with the
when
rest?
Most of us left, yes.
Are you with the rest of them then?
The rest of them.
Aye, there's a little bit up the way. There's a gathering of dwarves. Rumor is that they're planning on taking the kingdoms back.
Yes, that is where we are headed.
Good thing that we got out then.
Got out.
Where are my manners? Yes. Me and my children here decided to leave the new kingdom from the rule of the dragons. After the power struggle inside, we decided I decided it wasn't the best place to raise my two little angels, and we left.
So the rumors were true that their leader has fallen.
Either fallen or straight up left. We all felt it. And it wasn't long before the other ancients that were down there were at each other's throat about who should rule.
Unsurprising for dragons.
Tell me about it. I'm Genera. Genera Giant Song. This sort of hits you. This is a dwarven name.
I'm a bit confused. Why does a dragon kin like yourself carry a dwarven name?
Ooh. How long have you been away?
Many years. Many years.
Before or after the kingdom fell?
Just after.
That would explain it. Well, if you like, you may join us. We're just enjoying a nice swim at the moment.
Suppose we can take a moment. I am Reaver. The bear over there is known as Dorngall. He is... he's a bear, but he's not that bear. He'll show you later. My friends here are Amelia, Marius, and Farron.
The overly large hat.
It just stares.
A pleasure to meet you all. As I said, I'm Genera. That's the little green one over there. Don't feed the bear. As she calls out, you see this little dragonborn child holding up this salmon like an offering to this giant polar bear in front of it.
He won't eat your child.
The
Will
what-
you?
The one with the death wish is my little boy Ranmir. And the little red one over there blowing bubbles, thinking he can swim or breathe water. That's Torcrum. I guess you couldn't say my adopted son. Both his parents were taken when the vacuum happened.
Sorry, and what was the adult one's name again?
Genera Giant Song.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just take myself and my cat Ryder over to a comfy looking spot and take a seat.
She kind of goes back over to where she was originally seated. She kind of like looks back at the rest of you. There's no need to be shy. Everyone can gather around.
While I'm mowing on the salmon, I'm gonna like splash some water on the little green dragon.
And as you do that, that catches the attention of the red one, and like almost instantly you now have two dragonborn children just splashing tons of water at you.
I'm gonna shake off on them.
And they both laugh and throw even more water on top of you.
And I'm just gonna like sit on my butt and just like finish eating the salmon.
Okay. So you said that you left shortly after the fall, after the dragons took over.
Yes.
Or after the first dragon took over. Well, we bear our kin's names. You see, not all of the dwarves left. There were some who believed the dragons to be the rightful rulers and began to worship them, bringing them gold, jewels, anything to amass their hoard, to give them more power. In return for this, they were converted. Gone was their dwarven blood, replaced with draconic, making us close cousins of Dragonborn.
Always knew some of those dwarves were foolish in their beliefs.
Some did it out of a means of survival. But I was born like this, so was my child, and so was his brother.
Well, you certainly seem cordial enough, so I will not hold the transgressions of your ancestors against you.
That is very kind of you.
Hypocritical of me to do so, given my kind's history.
Well, we are but ourselves, not our histories, not our people.
Read.
I was simply a jeweler in the town that I lived in, along with my husband, God's rest him, and that little green terror in the water over there. But after I said the fall, we decided it best to leave. We've been living out in the forest here, still close to what was our mountain home, and just living off the bounty of the land. The spring seems to agree with us, and the weather doesn't seem to get too cold at night.
Forest seems like a relatively safe place to be, despite the Fey presence in it.
Oh, they don't come near here. That little snow line over there, sort of a border to them. They'll come right to it, but they'll never cross over.
Perhaps this place was blessed by a druid of some sort, then protects it and those within it.
That, or they're afraid that the volcano underneath the pool of water here would erupt at some point in time, so they wish to keep their distance.
There is that possibility as well, yes. So what of our former home?
They've changed, but those areas that did house us are still in decent. No, they're structurally sound. Let's put it that way. They may have changed, decorate more to fit the whims of whichever dragon oversaw it than pertaining to any heritage or historical lore that we as dwarves may have had. Gone are the statues of the heroes are old, and in their place, statues venerating the existence of our overseers. Though they do not mistreat us, they see us as lesser beings of their own.
Perhaps as pawns to bring them more treasures.
It hasn't escaped my thought that we at times are merely worker ants to them. But it's no different than humans working for a monarchy.
This is very true.
And given the rumors of the wars that are taking place outside, further on the continent, I felt that sticking near the mountain was at least safest for us.
Yes, I've noticed that this land is feeling a bit poisoned lately.
It feels wrong, doesn't it?
It does.
I heard murmurings about shadows and some sort of corruption.
Problems for other people. We have our own to deal with. And on that note, you said there was an encampment further up of those seeking to take back our home.
From what I could tell, I didn't get too close, but it looks like the base camp for the families has started to amass. The old families.
Don't suppose you would be willing to accompany me to this camp so you can share with them the information you have?
That would be dangerous to our sense. There are a good number of amongst them who view my kind as traitors. Those who betrayed our blood, our heritage, in order to survive. While I was born well after the fall, I don't think that they would look past that.
Fortunately, I agree with you. I have never met a kind more stubborn in their ways than dwarves.
Then you've never dealt with many dragons.
I try not to.
Their stubbornness is that of legend.
The dwarves and the dragons have more in common than they would like to admit.
They do share love for the mountain, love of gems, love of gold. Though I think the dwarves are a bit more hospitable. They tend not to try to eat visitors.
That would be a curious sight indeed. Though some days I think I would prefer to be eaten than to listen to another story from another old dwarf.
And what's of the rest of them here? They don't necessarily look like dwarves.
No.
Stragglers you picked all up on along the way?
They are allies from another continent.
Ah, mercenaries.
In a way.
Well, I honestly wish you the best of luck. Maybe it's still that drop of dwarven blood that I have in me, but I really do hope that you drive them away from the mountain and retake the home.
So I just hope there is enough of us left afterwards to build a new home.
It's not going to be an easy fight. While most of the dragons have left or have killed one another, there are still those inside there scraggling for the scraps of power left over, along with their followers and more of the fanatical types, a small cult.
Are there any inside that we might be able to call an ally?
None that I know of. I'm afraid the moment you step through into those halls, you are in alien territory.
be an interesting adventure. The camp, is it not too far up the road, or should we rest here and proceed tomorrow?
Well, I do enjoy your company, but if you were to leave shortly, you should be able to make it by nightfall.
I will defer the decision to my companions then.
The two not kobold, but dragonborn children, seemingly getting bored of repeatedly being shaken off water on by the bear, kind of come back up to the shoreline, and the red one just gets right up into Reaver's face.
Can I help you?
Doggies can talk?
No.
Mama, this doggy is talking. That's weird.
Most of us can talk.
If Dragonborn could go pale, that's what you would see right now. He's like, Mommy, the kitty's talking. Why are the doggy and kitty talking?
Would you believe that the bear speaks as well?
And he kind of just like slowly turns to look over at Dorngal. It's like kind of like tucks behind his mother. He's like, why are the animals talking? And she kind of just like pats his head. It's like, it's okay. Many things in this world can talk. Many of these things in this world are smart. I mean, people would look at us outside and wonder what we are. And yes, we can talk. The dragons can talk. The other day you saw a talking tree and held a conversation with it, so I don't know why you're so scared of this.
We encountered a speaking plant recently as well.
That is a whole different problem.
Not really much of a problem anymore.
The forest around here is very vibrant with elemental life. A lot of the plant life and other flora and fauna have gained a bit more sentience than they should. If you do come across a tree that is singing, do not critique it. It despises critics.
Well, we
We've
have
learned our lesson about singing to plants,
Yes.
haven't we?
No matter how good the performance may be, sometimes the results are still unwanted.
I just want to push you so bad. Like, stop.
What is our decision then? Are we going to rest here for a while, or are we going to push onwards and reach the camp by night?
How long did we kept going though? From point A to here now.
You got here pretty fast. This was probably about a 3-hour stretch.
We could probably still keep going, I think.
Usually. As long as I don't have to walk, it should be fine.
Seems it's settled then. If everyone would like to say their goodbyes, as I look at Dorngal and then kind of at the two little kids, we will be on our way. Thank you for the information you have given me.
Of course. I just hope whatever information I gave you was a boon.
It will be.
Like Dorngal is gonna like stand up tall and like yodel growl at the two little like dragonlings and like wave.
They kind of wave back at you.
You should have gotten out of bear form, like, bye, and then back into bear form.
I'm not gonna burn 2 wild shapes just to fuck with some little kids.
I
Oh,
would.
Come on. Where's the fun in that?
I only have like 2 or 3 right now. I think I only have 2. I have to double check. Yeah, I only have 2 right now. So no.
You'll be fine.
I already used 1, so no.
Say it'll be fine, but I feel like there's still one more chance to botch a percentile here.
Oh, there is.
And because I said that, I am not going to take the lead.
So you just jinx us and nope out?
I'm going to curse the roll, but I'm not going to do it myself.
I'll do it. Fine.
I was gonna say, can I technically lead while riding on top of the board?
You technically could.
Yes.
Yeah, let's make the cat do it. He hasn't rolled a percentile yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all know Raven is great at those.
We do. For travels.
All right, let me go pull up the horde of dragons they're going to have to fight here.
Come on. We're the...
Would I be able to use investigation to lead us?
Yes. Seeing as how you are technically riding on the back of a mount, you don't necessarily need to watch where you're going. So yes, investigation can work.
Don't step in anything. Let me direct us. Not bad. 15.
Okay. And can I get a percentile roll?
Can indeed, if I can find another D10.
Try to hide now.
59.
59.
It was just the knoll.
Just the knoll.
Yeah, it was.
So this length of the journey is a little bit rougher as you're clearing through a lot of vibrant overgrowth that's pretty much been spawned from the underwater volcano. It's pretty much enriched the soil around here, but you're able to clear through and you're able to make your way through the forest without, again, any sign of danger or the ability to get lost, as you are still technically using Reaver. And as it's getting darker around you, off in the distance, you can see the start of torchlight and numerous large campfires growing ever closer as you travel. As you get to the as you get even closer, you begin to hear music being played, and then very deep, gruff voices and laughter and what sound like the clashing of metal. And then your eyes fall upon this large base camp full of dwarves. Multiple different color pavilion tents seem to be in different sections, emblazoned by large banners displaying different dwarven clans and houses. Though they may be from different clans, different houses, different upbringings, all of them are there in camaraderie, drinking and eating and fighting with one another in what almost seems a means of celebration. And before you take your first steps into this camp, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break so we can get up, stretch our legs, refresh our drinks, and all that fun stuff. And we will be back in about 5 minutes.
bombs will make amends here. Where they bring death, we must remain. Relive the pain and dirty unreal. 'Cause we must live up to our name. To those who intend to
Who's this guy?
I don't know. So, Reaver, standing on the outskirts of this base camp, what are you doing?
You said a lot of these tents had like flags up and banners up and stuff representing their clans, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pace around the outskirts of this camp and look for any banners that might either be the Orhide clan or be associated with that clan.
Okay. For the Orhides, what did they have a specific sigil that they usually flew on their banners?
Nothing that I came up with. No.
Okay. Historically, what was the Orhide clan? What did they normally specialize in?
They specialized in mining rare precious gems.
Okay. So as you're skulking about the outside of this base camp, you do see a couple of the house crests that you yourself recognize. Being that of the axe breakers, the sigil of, just two shattered axes against a very large iron shield. The Ashen Forge clan, which is a sigil of a bellow spouting out just a large tuft of fire. The Dark Seekers, which were in the day the equivalent of the dwarven, I guess you would call it CIA. They were like they were the secret ops organization, and it's just a pair of glowing bronze eyes hidden behind a very dark blue cloak. So as you're going about, you're starting to lose hope until you reach the end of one side of the camp, and you do see tucked away the familiar banner of the Orhide clan. A set of crossed picks sprawled below like a sea of gems.
Okay, so as soon as I spot that one, completely forgetting that I have a cat on my back at the moment, I am going to go full sprint towards it. And depending on whether or not I see anyone I recognize, my actions may differ.
Okay. Now, are you going right into the pavilion tent, or are you just dashing into like the area of the campground that pretty much belongs to the Orhide?
I'm going straight for the tent, but may change my path if I see any people that I recognize outside.
Okay. What about the rest of you as you notice Reaver and Into, because he's riding Reaver, Marius, begin to like skulk about the outside of the camp, and then something catches Reaver's eye and he just dashes in.
Probably chase after him.
I'm a little torn between walking and not fully sprinting into this camp, and keeping up with Reaver, who's probably the only one that's going to keep us the draconic looks alive.
Reaver.
So I
where
think
are
I'm
we
going after
going?
Reaver.
Forgot about that already.
What about
No, I'll stay to the outside.
okay, what about Dorngal?
I'm gonna stick with the dragon, the newfound dragonkin,
Okay.
just in case they need some muscle, like if the dwarves get a little handsy.
One took off.
Yep, Farron
One
took
staying
off.
behind.
Farron took off into
Farron took off.
Farron took off.
All right, well, if this one's not moving, I'm gonna stay with this one.
Okay.
I will try to make my way around the outskirts of the camp towards where Reaver's running to. But I don't want to go through the camp.
Yeah, I'll follow that way as well.
And Reaver, how long have you been away from home? How long have you and Therian been gone?
How long did we decide it's been since they lost their home? I know we have that in our Discord conversation somewhere.
Yeah, I can't bring up Discord on my end because it's going to change the cameras. I need to get a tablet.
Or another monitor.
I don't have the surge protector space for another monitor.
Sorry, bear with me a second here. I'm looking through our conversations.
That just means you're gonna have to run another circuit to that wall from the breaker.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We don't even have the grounding in our house for the electrical. The house is that old.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, there is no grounding in this house.
I
Oh.
seriously recommend investing in a fire extinguisher in every room of that house.
Well, a lot of the new plugs that we've put in have an auto switch that will kill the power if like there's any sort of like short or anything.
Oh,
That's
they
good.
have built-in GFI. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't find anything immediately, and I don't want to take up too much time, so let's just say for now, just under 20 years.
Under
since we've
20
been
years.
home.
Okay. So as you're dashing through, you do see a lot of familiar faces. It seems that a good portion of the Orhide clan stuck together when everyone was driven from their home. Like a couple of them sort of give you questioning looks as you see there are other wargs in the camp, but this one, they're just kind of confused as to why this young looking warg is dashing through their section and is being ridden by a cat.
Okay, so I am going to, now that I'm seeing some familiar faces, I'm going to look specifically, as well as I can, running at this speed, for either some figureheads of the Orhide clan or direct family members of Therian.
Okay. So your eyes, like you're now just, the sensations are starting to overwhelm you as that sense of kind of being home and around family once again. Like your eyes just lock onto one very broad looking dwarf dressed in this very sheen black plate. And on his back is a large double-sided great axe. Just very long braided black beard, though you can see that age has started to set in as there's like wisps of gray and white inside of it. His hair is short cut on the side, but then has like a braided knot that goes back and then like hangs down to like the back of his neck. This is Beldar Boulder Grace, the pretty much the family's head of security. He was the main family's protector. He's the one that oversaw like the rest of the guards in like their section of the city. It's like pretty much if anyone was in trouble or if anyone were to be caught by somebody, they would be taken to him.
Okay, so as soon as I spot him, I am in my sprint going to cast Pass Without a Trace. So I'll be as stealthily and quiet as I can possibly be. And I'm going to charge straight at him, hoping to get the jump on him. And without slowing my speed at all, I am just going to plow right into him, headbutting him, trying to dent his armor.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make a check here because while you do have Pass Without a Trace, it doesn't make you invisible.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so you think this is going to work. You are charging at him, you are getting closer and closer, and it doesn't seem like he's got any sort of idea that you're there. So as you're about to collide into him with just like unfathomable grace, he just spins around you, wraps his arms around your neck and gets you about in a headlock and just takes you to the ground. Marius, I'm going to need a dexterity check here to see if you remain on the dog or if you're about to be unseated.
I'm so sorry, Marius.
Are you though?
Just clinch on. Just clinch on. Just like
Yeah. That's what those claws are for.
Nope. I don't want that. Nope. Don't want that. Okay. Nope. I don't have any of those tricks.
start looking through the reaction spells to see what happens.
Immolation is not the spell I'm looking for.
No.
I mean, are you sure?
Not with that attitude.
Acrobatics?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do acrobatics. If you want to just like leave him and just jump off of Reaver as he's being taken down.
Cats always land on their feet. Cats always land on their feet.
And not with this dex.
I've had numerous cats, and I will say they don't always land on their feet.
Nah,
17?
What you do?
17 is good. I've seen way too many face plants.
You tape butter side up bread to their back, and you have perpetual motion.
Very true.
Energy
Very,
crisis
very-
solved. So you leap off of with like your cat like Grace, just leap off of Reaver as he's taken down to the ground, and you easily land about a couple feet away from him as you see that this dwarf that he charged on has this headlock just cinched in. Reaver, you don't really feel any pain. He's not really cutting off any airway, but you know he's got you.
Yeah, and that's probably a good like 30 seconds of growling and snarling and flailing before Reaver just kind of goes limp.
Oh yeah, and he's the whole time he's just laughing, and like he just like teasingly like rubbing your head and stuff like that. And as you go limp, he kind of lets you go, and he gets up and he dusts the armor off.
Reaver, I'm disappointed.
That was
Shake myself off.
that was a nice try, pup, but you're still with Reaver.
Yes. It's good to be back.
No, hold on a minute. You look way too young to be that, Reaver. Where's the
Are
old
you
man?
saying that I looked old when I left almost 20 years ago?
I'm saying the Reaver that I knew had a bit of gray in him when he left. This one looks like a spry pup.
Yes, well, after I ditched Therian, all the stress went away.
Give me a persuasion roll.
That is going to be a 4 on the die for a total of 2.
He kind of kneels down in front of you and just like stares you in the eyes, and you know this gaze. This is when Eldar doesn't believe you, and you feel his eyes just reaching into your soul, trying to get that truth from you. Now, pup, I know everyone aspires to be like him. I know there are talks of him and Therian throughout the encampment, but pretending to be him is not going to make you him. And Reaver wouldn't ditch Therian. As much of a blowhard as the old man was, those two were inseparable.
You know us too well, even after all this time. The youth was a gift from the old man, and he's doing well enough. He sends his regards.
Give me another persuasion roll, but this time at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's gonna be a 1 on the die for a total of -1.
-1.
So not only are you telling me you're Reaver, but you're telling me the old man learned some sort of magic to make you younger.
I wouldn't say learned, no. More stumbled into. Here, proof. And I'll kind of reach around and pull Therian's warhorn off of my side satchel.
Persuasion. Right, one more persuasion, this time at advantage since you're using an item of Therian's.
This time, it's my highest one yet. It's going to be a total of 6.
Kind of looks at it for a moment, looks at you, and then reaches in and just hugs you. He got a 5. He's got a +4 on that. He's got a +4 on his on his insight, and he rolled a 1.
See, kids, sometimes it's worth it rolling your dump stat.
Well, I don't know how it happened or why it happened. The thought of the old man having any sort of magical power is concerning.
More than that, it was world-changing magical powers. Thankfully,
And what
he's not.
drunk god decided to give the old man these powers?
I don't know, and I don't want to think about it too hard. It gives me a headache.
Is he alive at least?
He is. He, again, has stumbled into... What was he calling it?
He has stumbled into immortality.
Some sort of forge of creation or something. I wasn't paying too much attention.
The old man gets magic abilities, makes you younger, and is in control of a creation forge.
That about sums it up, yes. Oh, and he also somehow obtained this, and I kind of nod to the sword that's on my side. A dragon slayer that supposedly has the power to awaken world dragons.
He kind of just like grips his temples. That man was always one with luck, wasn't he?
It's the only thing that's kept him alive. So
what brings you here? actually expect to see you or him in camp. Last we heard, you had left the continent.
I didn't want to come back, but he did. And he gave me more years than I had, so it's the least I can do to repay him. But I'm not alone. Rather rude of me, I suppose. The cat over there, Marius, he is with me. And I believe I had another companion with me around here somewhere.
You ran and left them all back there.
Oh. Well, if you spot a bear folk and two half draconic type.
And as you say half draconic type, you begin to hear horns of alarm blaring through the camps as you see Farron running towards you, catching up to you, and behind her is probably about a good 30 or 40 dwarves, like armed with like various spears and axes, like ready for a fight.
Ah, there's one of them now. She's fine. She's not going to attack unless provoked.
Seems the old man is sort of rubbed off on you as well. He kind of
Regretfully.
stands up and he pats you on the head as he walks by. He just pushes, like not pushes by you, but walks by you and walks by Marius, and he kind of crosses like his arms in an X over his head towards the rest of the dwarves that are following after Farron. All right, you drunk buffoons, stop hassling the lady. She ain't one of theirs. Get back to drinking, fighting, and eating. And even though that these other dwarves aren't part of this clan or this house, you could see that his voice carries weight as they sort of stop slowly and turn and go back to their own business.
There is another, I believe, on the outskirts of the camp with a bear folk. They are friends.
You mind getting them?
I'll retrieve them.
Thank you.
We'll rush to the outskirts of camp where I abandoned my companions and let them know that it is safe to venture in.
I would have started moving to circle around the camp and come up towards where you were at. The shortest distance through the camp, so I'm no longer standing there.
Yeah.
I will sniff you out.
There you go.
So it takes a little bit of time, but you're able to find them. And like as you find them, they're about a quarter way into the camp. Trying to sneak around some of the dwarves and going behind the tents and everything, which if they caught would look a hell of a lot worse.
They're actually sneaking.
Yeah, they like sneak into the camp. It's like enemy intruders.
I could just see Dorngal like trying to hide behind a post in his bear form.
That's a problem for them because Amelia's of the mindset if you fight her, you're just asking to die.
I will stride
them
up
problem.
to them. It's fine. You can enter the camp. They know you're here.
Yeah, I saw them kind of swarm Farron.
Yes, a lot of them. She's fine.
Didn't even know they were behind me. I don't see small shrimp.
We're a little linked, so yes.
So as you come back in, Marius and Farron, he sort of led you back to like his section of the camp, and you notice that there's a large pot of a stew or some form of soup over the fire, as well as a couple kegs off in the back. Two of you look hungry. Make yourselves at
Well,
home.
Considering the last thing that was eaten, drank, turned them into that.
Oh, when he says make yourself at home, I'm gonna cancel my wild shape. And I'm like, thank you, my friend. I will do so.
Reaver, did that bear just turn into a bear?
Yes. But this one can speak.
You keep
Hey,
some
bear.
interesting. You keep some interesting company, pup.
They were Therion's company. I just
That
tagged
makes
along.
that makes way too much sense.
Did not know Therian, thank you.
Except for Maris. He's the good one.
But,
The
I mean,
goodest
you
of
know,
boys.
The goodest
I
of
mean, you know-
boys.
Puts down the fireball. Sorry, what?
I mean, after you hear the same story for like, you know, the fifth or sixth time, I mean, you kind of just tune it out, you know?
I wanted to murder him.
Try spending decades with him.
No.
Try growing up with them. Those stories didn't start because of old age.
But now we are free of him and about to take back our home. Yes.
That's the plan. Couple of the plans sent forward scouts to check out the entrance. Rumors are true. We should have an easy way inside. The one overseeing everything there. Well, I guess to put it in simple terms, their king ran into a situation where he was taken down by a haphazard group of people that wandered inside.
Sounds like something we would do.
It is exactly something that all of you have done.
Have we?
Yes. Though there was a big price.
Make deals with liches.
Yeah. Is you Therion's son?
Kind of like looks at Reaver and then looks at himself. No, I'm not the old man's son. He and I are half brothers.
Ah. I mean, blood is blood, my friend.
Indeed. You know, and as much as we like to badger on about him, you must understand there is nothing but love for Therion. While his stories ran long and his luck was that of annoyance at times, he did good for this family.
Wouldn't be here if he didn't.
No, if you're looking for his boy, he's with the foreign party.
He's alive then.
Very much alive.
Good.
Got a bit
Out
of
of
a
character,
got a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
didn't Therion give us something to give to his son? I'm trying to remember.
He gave Reaver something to give to his son, which was the
Okay.
sword,
Ah,
as a
Oh,
means
that's
to, as a means to try and convince him to, you know, take up the effort in order to take back their home.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else. Therion had mentioned eventually also giving Orekeeper to his son, but he kept Orekeeper. He still has that axe.
Mhm.
So I think it was just the sword.
Yeah, he gave you the Dragon Slayer in order to like convince him. ADH Adventures, thank you for that raid. So I take it with all of you here, you're here to lend what you can into the war effort.
Certainly why I am here.
It sounded like grand adventure. Help his son take back his homeland.
Well,
I was bored.
if we are victorious, this will be a tale of legends. Hell, even if we fail, it'll be a fable of legends. As he kind of motions back towards like the enormous mountain behind you. Almost every interior foot of this mountain holds some form of dwarven settlements or mine or place of power. We mean to go through the entire thing inch by inch and drive out anything of draconic blood.
I suppose I never really did explain this place to all of you. This is not just a dwarven city. It was an entire civilization deposed by these dragons.
So you're saying there's probably a library in there?
Many.
Probably shouldn't let the dragons keep that then. Nope.
No. And we certainly shouldn't let them keep all of the treasures and riches that are within.
I mean, that belongs to the dwarves. And the dwarves are here, so we have no right to it.
Of course not. You're participating in this. You take what you can carry.
I like that. I can carry a lot.
We wouldn't expect you to assist us without, partaking in the joys of looting draconic hordes. It's good to have you back, Reaver. We're gonna need all the help we can get with what we are first tasked to do.
And what is that exactly?
We are meant to get the tram system running.
That sounds like a loud task.
Stealth is not going to be our friend in this. While a large number of dragons have left the mountain, there are still many in there who are trying to grasp at any crumb of power that they can get. And of course, with dragons come their followers.
Yes, and I have been informed that there are a number of those still within.
Yes. Dragonborn, half-dragons, kobolds. Those who turned their backs on their dwarven heritage and accepted draconic blood. And then the winged beasts themselves. Maybe a few elementals. We don't necessarily know what has been going on for the past 20 some odd years down there.
I am under the impression that there are children in there, those born to the ones that have turned their back on the dwarves. Many of them did not have a choice in the matter. Perhaps we can avoid injuring them.
Well, you know me, I'm not one to injure innocents, especially children. As of right now, there's been no call as to what to do with the ones that have accepted the draconic ancestry. That, I have a feeling, is going to be left up to each of the clan leaders to deal with as they see.
That brings up a good point. Is there some way to ensure we don't get mixed in? I'm more kind of motion between Farron and myself.
You don't look like him.
Good.
I mean,
Perhaps
if I were to look at you, I would say that you fell south of a curse.
Could be. Only time will
multiple
tell.
curses. Perhaps as an extra precaution, if the two of you are not opposed to it, we could give them the colors of the Orhide clan. Mark them as allies.
I think that would fit to give every one of you some sort of marking of the clan. That way they know who you belong with. And they know who to talk to if you act up.
There is likely to be at least a little bit of acting up.
Well, nothing wrong with having a little fun.
Now
Just-
you're starting to sound like him.
We grew up together, what do you expect? See, goes over to a small chest next to his personal tent, picks it open and pulls out a couple sashes. And then he hands all of you, save for Reaver, one of the sashes. Wear this, they'll know you're with the clan. You'll be able to pass freely through the camp without any sort of hindrance or provocation.
Take it tied around my waist.
Dorngol takes it and he ties it. He like wraps it around the gorilla arm he wears around his waist as a trophy.
Okay. Forgot you had that gorilla arm.
For those that don't know, Dorngol's first kill was an arboreal grappler ape, and they basically have like these long like tentacle gorilla
Rope arms,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, he basically cut one of them off and like had it, leathered, and he wears it as like a belt.
He also uses as a back scratcher at times.
I mean, hey, it reaches.
Farron will take the sash and she will tie a bow neatly right the beginning where her tail is.
You don't have a tail.
I thought I did.
Oh no, you have a tiefling tail. You don't have a draconic tail. I
Yeah.
was okay. Yeah,
I said
that's
tail.
right.
I didn't say draconic tail.
I forgot Farron had a tail.
I have a tail. I'm using it.
And now it has a bow on it.
Now it has a pretty bow on it. I don't know what color it is, but it's a bow.
That make it a bow
Let's
tail.
wrap it around the hat, the only visible thing.
The giant hat on you.
Fair.
It's too funny.
Just wrap it around like a band, tie it off. There we go.
Question. There was a bear folk and a half elf that showed up here a couple weeks ago, claiming that they were emissaries for Therian, mentioning something about him and his group showing up later on. Those yours?
I made it. Good
Yes.
now.
They're with the foreign party as well. The junior has taken a bit of a liking to them.
We'll be meeting up with them, then I take it.
If all goes according to plan, he and the rest of the foreign party should be back by dawn.
Good. The sword I have is meant for his hands, not my jaw.
And what do you think the over-under is in him actually accepting a gift from the old man? Two of them didn't necessarily leave on, well, friendly terms.
And what do you think the over-under is on me taking any answer from him but yes, sir.
You may look young, young pup, but you definitely got the old man touch on you still.
And many years on his son, so he will be respecting his elders.
Wake me before you talk to Junior. Boy needs to be put in his place.
He always does.
The years apart haven't necessarily improved that. I'm not kidding when I say he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Better be careful before it becomes more trouble than he's worth.
He's got a bit of a mean streak building in. Two of you, and he kind of looks over at Farron and Amelia. Two of you best be careful around him.
I think it's him that best be careful. Because I will defend myself and I will not pull punches.
As you shouldn't. The only way dwarven children learn to respect our elders if they try to disrespect them is to put them in their place. He may be a grown man, but to people like Reaver and me, he's still a boy.
And always will be. Despite that, though, it will be nice to see him again, alive.
He's done well for himself, at least. Mean streak aside, chip on the shoulder aside, there are a lot in the clan who respect him. A lot in the collective of families who respect him. He may be a hothead, but he does well by us.
So, it sounds like we have an opportunity to rest and perhaps a little bit of celebrating this.
Our camp is your camp. As he kind of looks around, he's like, I don't think the festivities are going to be dying down anytime soon.
As they shouldn't. This battle will be long, long overdue.
It will be grueling, but it will be glorious. Soon the bards will sing of the band of families taking back their mountain home.
Or at the very least, taking down the dragons with them.
I see you haven't forgotten about Plan B.
It is not a favorable one, but
collapsing an entire mountain is never a favorable option, but it's there.
I always questioned why those measures were put in place, but now I understand.
What do they say? Desperate times?
Leave it to dwarves, though, to create a backup plan that involves destroying a mountain.
I'm just happy that that the dragons didn't accidentally set it off.
That would have been marginally humorous, though.
Oh, it would have been poetic justice, but I'm more in favor of taking home back than staring at a crater full of dead dragons.
As am I. Not only would it be dead dragons, but it would be mountains of buried treasure.
Can you imagine the amount of treasure hunters we would have coming to this area?
The thought makes me want to leave the continent all over again.
And he sits with you throughout the night. Like him and Reaver regaling you with tales of the past, like confirming some of Therion's old battle stories for the events that the both of them had been in there as well. But the encampment is yours to wander around if you wish. There is food and drink galore, but everything is pretty much you're in control of the wheel right now.
Party! Farron's gonna eat and drink.
Most part, I think Reaver is just going to be, aside from having some food and some drink, going to be sitting with his old friend here and probably telling him some stories about Therion that happened on a different continent.
The waking up of a world dragon, the battle with the Lich, something about a tomb guardian, a flying whale ship.
I think at that point is when maybe he'll get up and wander the camp.
Okay.
Right when we start talking about the hippo from space.
Yeah, it's probably right about time you start bringing up the Lich. That's when she's just gonna walk away from that conversation.
Oh, I'm out.
Not really looking for anything particular, just more wandering.
Okay.
I swear to God, Farron, if you get me drunk.
It's a dwarven encampment. The odds for drinking are more, or getting drunk are more likely than you may suspect.
I'm sorry, but I cannot not be drunk. So you're gonna
Somewhere-
a lot of feelings in the course of 50 seconds.
Are you getting drunk,
Yes.
Farron? Okay. So
You said party and drunk, and that's all it is.
I need the two of you to give me Constitution saving throws.
God damn it. Con saves, I could do that. Where did I put my thing? Nope. No.
Roll that dice.
There you are. So here.
Mine's a 10.
Where's my con? There it is. That is 25.
Try as you might, you cannot get drunk tonight.
Oh god damn.
You put so many down, like so many away, and you feel the buzz, but then something takes it away from you.
The fuck?
As your combined constitutions are not allowing the alcohol to take effect.
Can you roll any less?
Hey, it was your roll that was high.
She's just freaking until otherwise. She'll put dwarves under the table. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, now's the time to start challenging people to drinking competitions.
Hell yeah.
So what about the rest of you? Is there anything specific that you're wanting to take care of, or is it just wandering the camp and listening to glory tales from Beldar and Reaver?
I know they're rare, but I need to find every dwarven caster that I can.
Dwarven casters?
Yes.
Okay. Do you inquire to Beldar about this, or are you just gonna look on your own?
I am going to inquire as to where they are.
Casters. Taken in the wiggly finger magic types.
Various snaps his fingers and
You're gonna want the ring keepers.
if you can just point me in the correct
As he
direction.
kind of points over, he kind of points behind you, and you could see a banister, not a banister, but a banner with like a circle of 16 rings. They're over there.
Hmm.
Our own little collective of ring mages.
Ring mages. I've encountered them. Interesting. Well, in that case, I'm gonna wander over in that general direction then.
Okay.
The only thing I'm gonna be looking for is I need a silver tankard. Spell calls for something that's worth about 100 gold pieces.
You see silver tankards everywhere. Like, there are very simple silver tankards. There are more lavish, decorative silver tankards. Just, you see a silver tankard in pretty much everyone's hand.
Should probably stop someone and ask him where she can get one.
Kind of looks up at you strangely. Anywhere you see a keg.
Appreciated. I'm just gonna go collect one. Do what I need with it in the morning.
But yeah, like every one of the, you like, when you ask that, you notice that everyone has at least, like, those who are drinking have at least one silver tankard in their hand.
Okay.
So Marius, you wander into the section of the camp for the ring keepers. And even they seem to be partaking in the festivities, though a lot less of the fighting and more of just the drinking and eating. As you can see inside their pavilion tent, there are just numerous scrolls and books open across the table, and you do see boxes of rings neatly tucked away, like on the edge of the tent.
So you're the mages around here.
You call out. They kind of look over at you, and one of them gives you a nod. Another one of the cat folk. Yes, we're the mages. What can I do for you?
I'm just curious if any of you might actually know what kind of the extent of the libraries that might be contained within what we intend to take back.
I know full well what the contents of most of the libraries, well, any of imports that we are looking to take back, as they are our libraries. Our clan is meant to collect knowledge, chart the history of our people, and of course further our own magical studies.
Interestingly, I'm also a collector of knowledge. As he kind of fishes out his badge from the Scribes College.
Well, any collector of knowledge is welcome here. Please, take a seat.
Curious about your ring magic. I've never seen it actually used. I know of it, but that's the extent of it.
Well, as you know, us dwarves normally aren't too keen on the arcane. So we tried to take what we know and add it into it to give it a little bit of a twist. are rings. As he kind of holds out his hand, you can see that each one of his fingers has a different ring on them. Act as sort of a focus. But more than that, each ring has our spells.
So 1 ring per spell.
Or the fledglings, yes.
It's an interesting way of keeping track of them. Probably more efficient than writing them down.
We never got the whole idea of keeping things in musty old tomes that we needed on the fly.
I do understand. The spell book is a little more for show for me. As I just kind of grab the quill out of midair.
And then we have,
This is my source.
as I'm about to sneeze. Oh, so he kind of points over to a weapon rack, and you can see these various blades and spears that are decorated with various rings that have been punched into them.
Oh, interesting. So imbuing magic into weapons using the rings. That's useful. So does the carrier learn the spells, or do the spells attach to the weapon?
Think of it as using any other magical weapon. So with ring magic, you need to be attuned to that school, just as a necromancer needs to have at least some sort of talent in a necromantic school. So does a ring mage.
That might interest Reaver.
Reaver's
Ward,
back.
Grumpy,
No,
kind of direct.
I know Reaver.
Just over there.
I didn't necessarily know him and the old man were back.
Only him. The old man apparently, from what I understand, inherited a forge of creation.
Now I must definitely talk to Reaver. Though I have a feeling that this is going to be a conversation for after we take back the home.
It sounds like a long story. I haven't delved too deep into it.
So what are you looking to learn from these libraries?
Absolutely anything I can. I'm a collector.
I see that you've got the Orhide sash on you, so I take it you're with their little excursion.
Yes. That is correct. And
Well,
we have a couple half dragon with us, so the sashes are so they don't get mistaken for enemies.
it's understandable. Well, you do have one of the more important tasks at the start of this. Before any of us can reach any of our libraries, we need the tram system operational. Trying to travel that mountain on foot would take us months.
How does the tram system work? Is it mechanical or magical?
A little of both.
Runes.
Runes, enchanted metals, and well, heat generated from the magma inside the mountain itself.
Well, I'm not much for the intricacies of the enchantment magics. I make things explode.
That is one of the more brutal talents of magic, but I must say that it's something we are definitely going to need getting inside.
I don't suppose we have any idea what's inside outside of them just being dragons.
All we
That's
know
maybe
is the dragons, they're dragons and their followers.
So, an assortment.
A literal grab bag of breath weapons.
Oh, yay. So, I should probably inform our cleric of that so she can prepare appropriately. Speaking of, I have no idea where they ran off to. Then again, I can't see anything from this height, so
Katie's the one that needed wings.
actually, thinking as the cat flies out of my hat.
Tell me, you have talent in magic, right?
I usually like to assume so, yes.
Are you well versed in low level transmutations?
Not particularly. What did you need?
He reaches down, he reaches over to the table and he grabs a small spiked ring. A gift from one collector of knowledge to the other.
Oh, I'm gonna have to sit and ponder this the hard way, aren't I? Ah, hell.
It's imbued with a low level transmutation spell, something we call bitter chains.
Curious.
Simple way of putting it: use this ring, smack the bugger you're against, and these chains inside this ring will bind them, slowing them
So I
down,
have
making them
to be
easier to
in
check.
Physical range.
Physical range, yes. Or if you have the ability to make some sort of touch attack at a distance. All it requires is you to hit them.
I might.
I'll put the spell information in chat for you.
Oh boy.
They're probably led with this.
Ah, the important stuff.
And it is a level 2 transmutation spell.
Level 2, so I will need a spell slot for that.
That is mean.
Ring magic is nuts. Like ring magic has some like nice spells in it.
Speaking
Yeah, it
of,
does.
since I don't normally carry something like this around with me, would there happen to be a reasonably sized, you know. What do I need? A brass brazier. Is there one nearby? Because it's not something I carry with me.
Brash and brazier. What do you need that for?
Well, if I have to touch something, I have a way of doing so without having to get close to it. Outside of as the small spectral kitty floats out of my hat. Outside of this.
Well, we got a couple of them here. They are...
Could I just borrow it for a short period of time? About, 10 minutes?
As long as you ain't gonna damage it, be my guest.
Haven't blown up anything lately that didn't need to be done, so. There was a plant.
He kind
Don't
of...
sing to plants.
I don't plan to.
Don't sing to plants.
There's a story there, but I'm not sure if I want to hear it right now.
PTSD already sets in.
You'll end up turning into a tree if you inhale the spores.
He pulls out like a small leather-bound tone. He starts writing notes fervently into it.
And I am just going to regale the entire story to him while he's writing.
More things for us to explore once the home is taken back.
They.
Wonder if we can cultivate them ourselves for use.
The creature that produced them is back on its home plane.
Home plane, huh? Well, we do have one or two of our more brighter students who specialize in planar magic. Gatekeepers, we call them.
I wouldn't recommend bringing her here unless you can send her back quickly. This all arose because she wanted to go back and the Fae wouldn't let her.
Now it makes sense. Sooner we take the mountain back, the sooner we can just ignore the Fae. But if you're looking for that brazier, there's one. Well, there's a couple of them outside.
Perfect. I haven't had an opportunity to do this in the past couple days. And I'm going to wander out there and start casting Find Familiar. I've been
Finally,
without one
I can
for quite
summon it.
some time. It's like, I don't have one of those just neatly tucked in a bag somewhere. Collapsible pot was not on the list of things I needed.
No, you just have one made that collapses, like, you know.
Well, we're in a place full of dwarves. I might be able to
Yeah.
get one now.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, like, it just, you know, you get one that, you know, just folds up, you know, along the diameter
Mhm.
and just collapses, and you just have like this.
All you
big,
need-
you know,
All you need is a bag
Yeah.
of holding. Just reach in and pull out the brazier.
I have one of
too.
those. I just
There you
didn't
go.
have one with me.
So you can you sit there for 10 minutes and you use the ritual to find familiar.
Finally.
And what sort of familiar are you summoning?
It's a weasel.
Okay.
Yes.
I approve.
It's a hat weasel.
What kind of weasel? Celestial, Fae?
In this case, it would
Draconic.
be...
Draconic. Is it a
For a
pseudo?
moment, I thought you said demonic, and I'm like, please no.
Yes.
Demon weasel.
It's just got the the Hellboy horns at like full growth. There's a little crown floating above his head.
I
Mhm.
believe demonic weasels are known as ferrets.
No, ferrets are weasels on cocaine.
Fucking love.
I mean, so much
I
difference between
mean,
that and
I
demonic.
would do it, but celestial in this case.
Celestial
Roger,
ferret?
You did not.
Okay.
Yes, you did not put a name on that spell, or I'm just blind.
It is called Bitter Chains.
Cute. Does it have an at higher level attached to it?
I do not believe so. I believe it's only I believe it's only second level.
You realize this is dangerous because it's a new damage type.
Cold.
No. The problem is I can substitute it in for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what would it
Also-
be?
also-
Piercing? Necrotic?
Does it say what it's piercing damage? Anytime that if they move 5 or more feet during their turn, they take 3d6 piercing damage from the barbs.
Ooh, what else is that level? Neat. That could be fun. Okay. Is it something I'm gonna have to prep, or do I get it as long as I have the ring on?
That ring has the spell imbued in it.
Perfect.
So
where ring gets spell.
Yep. The glory of ring magic. You don't need to prep it. It's right there.
Well, that's dangerous.
I mean, granted, it still has that thing of you still need to use the spell slots, but as long as you've got the spell slot, you can cast that spell.
Yeah, but now I can sub in piercing damage into things like flaming sphere.
So
It's a ball of spikes.
yeah, just it's
Jeez.
It's a giant mace.
all of a sudden it's just a giant flail head flying at people.
Yep.
Or upcast magic missile, and I can do it. Neat.
That's the fun of that type of wizard.
That I'm a collector.
I just like to have the most optimal damage output as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that case, once I have a familiar, I'm going to find a cat-sized pint of ale and go from there.
Well, there's only a dwarf-sized pints of ale, but you know the cat is
Close enough.
drunk cat.
Actually, the cat's got a reasonable con, so...
All right. Is anybody else taking care of anything throughout the night?
Nope. I am just hanging out with the most boisterous group in the camp.
Which is pretty much Reaver and forgot his name. I'm a horrible person. Reaver and
Beldar.
Eldar, yeah. Like those two are just going back and forth telling war stories.
Hooray.
And Reaver is, for once, kind of energetic.
Every now and then you see a tail wiggle.
Yeah. Just the tip of the tail, it kind of moves quickly just to one side, but it's there.
It just stops.
Yeah, he feels himself getting excited and he just like stops himself.
As we call in my house, the tail flap flaps. And it stops.
Oh god, is the dire sea flap gonna come back?
Oh God, no! Please.
I mean, it might, depending on which route we take to the mountain.
Oh no.
All right.
Can
So-
can we not?
The night Ironscape, I need you to stop for a minute. So night comes after a long session of celebration. You find quarters where you can in one of the empty like barrack like tents, and you're warm, belly's full of ale and meat. Spirits are high. Reaver,
Mhm.
can I get a perception check?
You can. Is this based on any specific sense or just general perception check?
Hearing.
That will be at advantage. That one jumped right out of the tray. But that is going to be a 22.
A 22. So early in the dawn, the sun is barely grazing the horizon at the moment. Very cold mist sort of seeping into camp. You begin to hear loud thuds, every footfalls approaching the camp. And then what sound like the clanking of metal. Movement outside. And then you hear the beating of wings descending down upon the camp. And that is where we are going to end for the week.
Can't just drop a dragon on us and be like, see you next week.
Yes, I can.
Just on
He
that.
does it regularly.
Yeah.
That's totally a
doesn't-
thing.
That doesn't make it okay.
Does it in season 3, does it in this one, season 2.
Look, we got to end it on a cliffhanger. You can't, end it on a happy note.
I mean, as a DM, I get it. I'm right there with you. As a player, no, let's go for another hour.
Oh, you're going to need more than an hour for this.
Yeah, it's like thundering footsteps, like
Yeah,
flapping wings.
You've done fights for like 10 seconds because some person decides to be OP for like a
Oh, no.
Listen. I do not have the stuff prepared to deal with the dragon at the moment. Give me a day.
We're going
I
monster.
do. I have a
Nice.
sword. Let me at him.
I have a sword that kills dragons. Oh, but yep. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. This is not the only show that we do. Upcoming this Saturday, we have another episode of our Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign of Wayward Wanderers, which is DM'd by Azarin. And then we will be having another episode of the Chimera Collective, which is DM'd by Kiara Phoenix on Monday. And then we will be back here on Tuesday for another episode of Into the Wildlands 2. And then the next Saturday will be another episode of Withered Wastes. That's the one. So we've got our weekly lineup of shows set up. Fingers crossed that the Curse of Summer is gone and we can get back to all shows being run at normal scheduled times. But for now, we are going to head off. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you later.